All right. So, Gabriela, you are still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
I watched the video, the recording session of last time, and I noticed that you were doubting to continue or not this, right? And why did you decide to continue?
I was thinking that I should not give up on something that I like because because of my emotion with somebody else, let's say. I should continue to do what I want, not be so reactive.
All right.
Yes.
So the main problem was your emotions
Yeah,
toward,
yeah. Yeah, I was too reactive, too emotional, I guess.
and which emotion was strongest one?
Uh, Anger.
Anger
Yes.
against Matthias or
No, Matthias, it's a really nice guy. No. I don't think even if I try, I don't think I could be angry at Matthias.
okay,
Even
so
if I
why?
try to do it.
So you were angry at someone, or you were just angry?
Yeah, there were yeah, I was angry with somebody, but I should not give up.
Okay, in the group.
Well, I was angry with Alex. It's if you want me to give you names.
Okay, but okay. So that was the main reason why you wanted to give up.
Well, yes, that's why I don't want to show up to focus anymore and so on, because I don't want to interact with him anymore. So that's why I wanted to give up.
All right. So it's a personal problem with the person. It's not about writing.
No, no, but it's still a problem because I shouldn't let others decide what I want to do just
Okay.
because they like this decision.
Otherwise, you get back in your heteronymous mood and attitude. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was the problem, yes.
Okay. And by the way, it's interesting because you know what anger and heteronymous have in common?
Well, it's still an emotion that makes you react to something that's exterior to yourself. So you're still
Right.
dependent on something else. That's why I said that I don't want to be controlled by anger and by other people's action.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So in one word, you could say that they have in common impotence. Yeah.
Yes,
Because in
yes,
both case, when you are angry, usually it's because you feel impotent. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Otherwise,
that's
you do
true.
something to modify what you don't like. And plus, if you depend on others, you're heteronymous, you don't decide by yourself, so you're not powerful in a way, yeah? So
Yeah,
so you decide to stop with your impotence existential attitude and you decide to continue, right?
yeah, it's something that I want to do. Yes.
Okay, I'm happy about your choice. Good, good. And but by watching the video, I saw that you didn't write a text. You proposed a text you wrote already before, right?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so then you managed to write something or no?
Oh, by today, I have a little story, but it was not prepared for today, but I
Oh, yeah,
can.
but just to know, you wrote this week?
Yes, yes, I wrote, but
Okay,
yeah.
okay, good, good. So I saw a bit of the session, the last session, and today I want to start from this question related to the last session. I would like you to conceptualize your main difficulty you notice either by yourself, for example, trying to write that text that I gave to you as a homework after the first session, or by speaking with Matthias. So, did you notice which can be your main difficulty that, in a way, stop you from writing? Now, do you have the Google Doc? Are you in? Yes? Okay, good. So, can you write your name and then the concept that catch your main difficulty you noticed so far?
Can you share the Google Doc again in the chat, please?
Yes, sure. One sec. All right. I see two people in the dock, so one is missing. Are you all inside the dock?
I'm entering now.
Ah, that's fine. Okay, okay. Let me know when you have done. Okay. Okay, who hasn't finished yet? Okay, Gabriella, how much time do you need?
1 minute to type a sentence for the
Okay,
last
let's
point.
do
Yes.
let's do 1 minute. Oh, wait. I understand why now why you took so long. Because you're doing all the task, all the three questions.
Yes, I
Okay.
think we all are doing the all the tasks.
Okay. Okay. No. That was the all the task for today, but now I ask you just to answer the first question.
Well, that was like 20 seconds.
Yeah,
It took
that's
20
why I
seconds.
was surprised that you took so long, you know. Okay, so you can stop here. You can stop here. And let's check the first question, the first answer. So, who want to start to share his main difficulty in one concept? Luisa, since Luciano and Gabriella were more present in the last session, were more active, I would start from you if you agree.
Okay.
So, what difficulty did you find so far in writing?
In writing in general, I was speaking in the first, it was lack of inspiration. But in this text, I said my main difficulty when writing this text was having many concepts to deal with in a coherent way in a short space, 1 page.
Okay, but did you notice that you didn't do the job I asked?
No,
You didn't notice, no?
no.
Okay. Who noticed that Luisa didn't do the task? Gabriella?
Yeah, I think she's kind of performing the problem that she was writing about because the task was about choosing a concept and she explained her
Ah,
problem
okay,
instead
yeah.
of choosing just.
Okay, so she didn't conceptualize with one idea, but she was already explaining,
Mhm.
right? Did you notice, Luisa?
Yeah, no, I noticed.
Okay. How do you explain this, what you have done? Why did you didn't pick one concept, but what you straight away wanted to explain it?
I don't know. I have fever also, so I don't know. My mind is a bit.
Okay. I mean, don't panic. Don't worry. We are here to think together. Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. So try it now to forget about yourself. Try to put yourself in another person's shoes, and to think why, in general, a person should, let's say, instead of pick a concept, just one idea, should write a sentence, an explanation. What can explain this? phenomenon?
I was just not attentive to the text, so lack of attention to the what you asked for.
Okay. So now you're still speaking about you.
Lack of attention can be a problem.
Okay, okay. Lack of attention. Lack of attention. And what can explain this lack of attention? Why a person should be not so focused in the task that she straight away start with answering without reading properly or without understanding properly the task?
Maybe the person is rushing. I don't know.
Rushing, okay. Are you a rush person, Luisa?
No, usually not. Just now I'm sweating.
Are you rushing now?
No, I'm sweating.
Okay, but were you rushing when you answer?
Probably.
Okay. Let's ask the group, Luciana, Gabriella, how do you explain a person that is rushing in doing the task and this rushing doesn't let her or him to understand properly the task? Do you have an explanation, a hypothesis? I think there are different reasons, yeah? Can you provide at least one? Yes, Gabriella?
Maybe she took a quick glance at the task and she was like, oh, that's easy. And she was eager to complete it. Like
Okay.
some kind of very action-oriented person, or like, yeah, she thought it was really easy.
Okay. Can you conceptualize this idea?
I don't know, over efficiency, that's my
Okay.
intuition.
Efficiency.
But it's not a good concept, but like, yeah, some kind of,
Let me propose to you result oriented. I mean, a person is very focused in the result, and maybe that explains why she answered three questions instead just of one. She was more focused in the result, the final result, instead of taking time and, let's say, enjoy the process and understanding properly. What do you think, Gabriella?
I don't think the answering to the all the question applies, because I think we all did this.
Oh,
I think it was a
maybe you are
misunderstanding.
all result oriented. Who knows?
Actually, I was just answering the first, and so Gabriela answering the first,
Yeah.
and Lucian. Then I
Oh,
started answering
you
to all of
followed
them.
them. You followed them.
Yeah, I was the last to finish actually.
You were the
Because
only one right, but you followed the people that. Okay. So, Gabriela, okay, let's take apart the three answer, but can be result oriented a concept that define a person that is in a rush to complete the task.
Yes, it works.
Okay, let's try. Luisa, uh, have you ever noticed, or do you agree that you are a bit result oriented? For you, results are important, or no?
the results are important.
Okay, and can this explains why you didn't pay enough attention to the task in order to complete it?
For me, my lack of attention explains better than the
Okay,
focus on
but
results.
you see the link between
Yes.
lack of attention and let's say rushing to get the result.
Yes.
Can you explain it?
When you rush for a result, your attention becomes like a tunnel kind of focus, and then you can miss out important details.
Okay, So you're so focused on the result that you miss information during the
Yeah.
process. All right, all right. And do you know what is the main fear when is too result oriented?
The main fear. Mm, not to deliver. I don't know. This could be.
Okay, not to, let's say, do properly the task.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's funny, no? So in a way, because you are worried not to do properly the task, you miss the task.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you relate now this idea to your difficulty in writing?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear.
So because I was focused on the final results, the writing the text, I couldn't focus well on just one concept and had too many concepts in a small text, and that could be not enough place to develop them.
All right. Good. Yes. So you're too worried about the whole instead
Mhm.
of focus on one idea and start to develop that idea, and maybe to connect that idea with other idea. You want straight away the whole ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. So, just to finish, do you have a name to this, let's say, strong desire towards the whole?
I call it wholeness. But
Wholeness. Okay. Okay, can you write it down? Because I think it's then we're gonna work on it with the second question.
okay, so I'm writing it here. Oh,
Wholeness. Okay. Okay, I think there are other names, but I think wholeness it works. I think it could be called also absolutism because absolute is uh, in a way everything, wholeness, yes, together. Yeah. But wholeness I think is good. Okay, good. Now let's deal with other difficulties. So who want to share it? Lucian, did you?
Okay, yes, of course, I can share.
All right.
But I haven't answered your question either now that I think about it. I haven't conceptualized.
Now,
Uh,
wait, did you do the same than Luisa, right?
yes.
Do you found another explanation or is the same? It's wholeness.
Uh, I would say, as a concept, lack of structure.
Can you explain?
Lack of structure. Because I did not have a structure to improve my creative writing. Um, a lot of people say they want to get better at creative tasks, either it's writing, painting, or whatever. But to get better, you don't need to be more creative. You need to be more structured. To think like, oh, I have to do a painting once a week, or to have to do a text once a week, and then you force yourself to get better, and creativity will come as you get better at practicing.
Okay, but this explains your main difficulty in writing, right?
Yes, I don't have trouble in being creative. I have trouble in actually writing and
Okay,
having this.
but
Yes.
I was asking you something different. I asked you if, I mean, how do you explain the fact that you didn't conceptualize like the task requested, but you explain straight away, just like Luisa did.
Hmm.
You have an explanation? Or is the same than Luisa? Did you follow a bit the discussion with Luisa?
Yes.
Remember that she said that in a way she's result oriented, she's looking for the wholeness, and this can be a problem when you write, because if you don't start from one idea, you don't select one, you don't develop one, at one point you get stuck.
Okay, yes. Well, this discussion with Luisa made me think it is a common critique to me. I don't think I have the same problem as her.
So can you name, can you find why you do that? Maybe it's different reason, I guess, yes?
I don't know how to translate it in English. We have this idea in Romanian, să fușărești, to do things, yes, result oriented, but in a way where the result isn't, I mean, it just satisfies the formal aspects of the request, but it's not really a qualitative product, you know. You kind of you pretend that you delivered what is expected.
Wait, you pretend to do the task, but you don't do it?
Yes, you do it in a hurry. You are result oriented, but you do a shit product. I don't know how to translate in English. Să fușărești. It's like you are in a hurry to finish the task, but you do it in a bad way, in a careless way.
Okay. Luisa, Gabriella, do you have can you reformulate this idea, because I think it's interesting, but I don't know if it's clear.
I have a concept to propose to him.
All right.
For this is superficiality. It's like skimming the surface only.
Okay. You completed the task, you want to do it, but you stay on the superficial.
Yeah, it's superficial work.
So is superficiality your problem, Lucian, in writing?
Part of it.
In that explain why you didn't do properly the task, but you did something different.
Superficiality is one part of this fușăreală, let's say. Superficiality is like how the end product is superficial. It's like it's expected of you to do good work, but you do the work superficially. I don't know if I'm clear. It's really hard.
Gabriella can help here. I see her raising her hand. Gabriella.
I would add, I don't know, maybe Lucian would find this helpful, the aspect of laziness, because you just want to present the test to the others, like here, I did it, but you don't involve yourself like with effort, with passion. It's just to check it. Like here, I did your task, but I didn't do it with my whole dedication or with involvement. I'm just lazy. I'm just do it to be done.
Okay, laziness, so a lack of effort, basically.
Yeah, I think it's a part of the concept of fușăreală, yes.
Okay. Luciano, is that what you are trying to say? Is laziness?
Yes, laziness is also a part of this concept.
But there is something more, right?
Yes, it's also superficiality, it's also laziness, but it's very important to me. I think it's this idea that fușăreală, it's only something you do in relation to others. Somebody else told you to deliver a task. A project that you do cannot be done just formally. You put passion into it. You put your creativity. But yes, I think
So you get lazy and superficial because of the pressure that uh, is implied in the request, in the duty that a person asks you to do, right?
yes, I think it's like a cultural thing. You know, you defy authorities by doing the work. Oh, here I did it just like you said, because and if the instructions are unclear and you do a shit job, then you can say, "Oh, I did like the instructions say." You know, I answered your question. You know, I wrote one dot and answer, but the answer is shit, and I didn't fully follow your instructions. You know, I'm I'm just saying this not to defy you because I appreciate these workshops, but I noticed in myself how
It's your functioning in a way.
it's more present in me, but I think it's also a cultural thing.
But did you, I mean, if you observe this functioning that is cultural based, what do you think is the main cause of this functioning? Is the rejection of authority? Is to play smart in order to make less effort? What would you say is the core of the functioning?
I think, well, in me personally, yes, it can be defying authority, but it's a very common thing in school to be called out to say, "Oh, you did this work as fushareala," you know. It's very common in schools.
Can you write in the chat the Romanian name so I can check in the dictionary because I'm getting curious about this concept. Maybe I can use it with my students as well at school.
Yes.
Also, take in account it's a jargon word, so it's hard to translate.
Okay, let's see if AI can help me.
And it's also a word from onomatopoeia. It's like fish, you know, you like a, I don't know, you do things chaotically with the sound. I don't know.
Okay, AI is is telling me that it is an adjective to indicate a work made in a shitty way, in a rush, without much caring, something quick and not precise. Yeah. So there is a negative connotation. Is day life slang. All right. Is that it, Luciano? Yes.
Yes, I think.
Okay. So let's ask the group, since maybe it's culture, maybe it's related to each of you. Gabriella, Luisa, and Luciano as well, of course. What do you think is the main cause of Fusariala? Gabriella.
I was thinking back to school. Usually, when you do something fușăreală, it's about not being important to you. You just want to do it because it's asked for you to do it. You want to do it quickly, just for the end product so you can deliver it and be done with it. And you want to move to something that's really important to you. So this task is just to be done, and then you can move to something more important. So it's more like a
Okay, you're more interested in something
else.
different, something else,
Yes.
and so you just rush in order to finish as soon as possible,
Yes,
so you
yes.
can change exercise.
Yeah. That's why teachers accuse you, oh, this is just fușăreală. You just did it to be done,
Okay.
So you can move on and play or something.
So basically, it's a way to escape from the task by doing as soon as possible, and you don't care about the quality of what you're doing. You don't put an effort in what you are doing. Yes, Luciano, is that it? Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, so you were trying to get rid of this question, this task to conceptualize your difficulty.
Uh, in a way, I, I go back to school now, and I think I'm still doing the homework from last week, writing this text. I wrote some notes during the week, and now I'm putting them together to have something to show. But I was also working on that, doing my homework while the teacher was saying,
Ah, now I
"How?"
okay, Luciano, now I understand. You're too worried about yourself, about being a good student. You didn't do the homework you want to repair. That's why you don't pay attention in what I am asking you because you are worried about not being, let's say, good student, and you want to what you didn't do during the week, right? Okay, okay. So, Luciano, I'm not a teacher here. I'm not schooling anybody, and don't worry about what you have done, what you didn't. If you didn't do it, it's just maybe it could be a nice occasion to speak, to reason together, to understand why. But I prefer you stay in the present instead of repairing what you haven't done. Otherwise, I I keep losing yourself. So if you notice, you didn't answer the first question by conceptualization, and when I ask you why you didn't do it, you didn't answer my question. You were speaking about something else. So if you are so worried about your position, basically you cannot dialogue with me. You cannot be present. You see the problem in being so worried about yourself?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I think the best way to attend this course is to be present. So if you have this worry, I suggest to you try. I mean, don't give a shit about what you have done, what you didn't. Try to understand why. We are here to understand, for example. Yeah. So you don't need to prove that you are a good student. I already know that you are not, so don't worry. Okay. And in a way, I prefer not to have good student in the course because usually good students are not very good in critical thinking. Yeah. So if you're a bad student, I prefer you are a bad student. Don't pretend to be a good one. Okay. Even because you're not very good in pretending to be a good one. Okay.
But to be honest, I don't know if I mean, I started writing my homework 1 hour before this meeting, and I got attached to it. I really valued this exercise of putting your thoughts on paper. I was almost finished, but still looking at tweaking things. I was distracted. I wanted to maybe feedback, or maybe I don't know if I wanted to impress you as a teacher or be, as you say, as a good student, but I valued this assignment, and I thought, oh, I shouldn't miss this deadline. I should make it, because then, yes, I can
Okay,
get better.
but Luciano, don't worry because today we are supposed to write, let's say here during the session, we're gonna spend a few minutes. I will ask you to write a text on a topic that I will propose to you. So last time I gave to you a text to write about what you wanted. Today I will propose a topic and you're gonna write, so you're gonna exercise in that. But I'm glad that you saw that is valuable, the exercise of writing. But if you do it now, of course, you lose, let's say, the what the session can give to you. So I propose, even if you saw this value, try to be patient and to maybe we're gonna do during the session something, and then if you really saw the value, you have 1 week to exercise in writing. Yeah, you can take like I do every day, half an hour, sometimes 1 hour to write something, anything. Yeah. So in a way, this course is meant to be to inspire you and to show you how can be beneficial the writing. That's why we deal with difficulty that you have in writing. So you know that what does tell you about you, the fact that you saw the value and now you cannot stop. You want this too much that you are in a way abandon the session, abandon us. What does it tell you? What it tells about you as a person, as a human being, as an existential tendency?
Mm, that I might be greedy. I don't know.
Okay, explain. Greedy.
Well, I thinking also to this Fusharella thing. I'm in this string of Fusharating things. I don't know. I did this homework in last minute. Then I wasn't paying attention to the class as much, and I'm constantly thinking of the next thing to do. But I'm overloaded. I'm greedy. I want all these things.
Okay.
I didn't do the homework because I had work to do up until late last night. Then, but everything is fu- fusharit. I don't know.
Okay,
Everything
so let me
in a hurry.
translate in Italian. When you want something, you cannot stop to think about it, to try to get it as soon as possible. Yeah. So you get impatient. Do you see this tendency in your existence as well, or is just today?
Yes, I feel I can be impatient. I am impatient rather.
Okay, and can now to finish, can you see the relation between impatience and difficulty in writing?
Uh, yeah, I mean, you don't let the words breathe, or you don't let ideas breathe. You
Yes,
hurry.
yes.
Yeah,
Plus, maybe you don't answer the question. You are always a step forward yourself in a way because you desire too much. You cannot control the desire. Yeah. All right. Good. Okay. Okay. We found. How do you call this problem? This difficulty? Impatience or something different? Okay, I know that today you are into this word, how it's called, Fusha Reala, but but would you name this difficulty that make you be a step forward yourself all the time and losing the contact with the present activity? Greedy, impatience, or greedy? Okay, can you write in the doc greedy as a main difficulty?
I think I'm patient. Yeah, I would write impatience. It's
Okay, impatience, good. You see, it's funny because in a way, without we didn't deal with the Luisa answer, I mean the content and your content in the answer. We dealt more in a performative way, but we found anyway a problem, a difficulty that can be related in writing. Yeah. So impatience, Luisa had no Gabriella, no, Luisa had wallness, and Gabriella is the only one that made the task at least so far. Yeah, you conceptualize the first the difficulty, right, Gabriella?
Yes, well, it was easy because we already discussed in the beginning of the Zoom meeting. We addressed my problem, so it was really easy to come up with the concept.
Okay, but now that you conceptualize, can you explain why you pick emotional reactivity?
Yes. I picked that one because it's the most common in my life. My drive to write depends on the emotion that I'm in. And also my type of writing depends on my emotion.
All right, can you say which emotion, let's say, push you to write, and which emotion stops you from writing?
Uh,
Anger, I guess, stops you from writing, from what
yeah,
I said before, right?
yes, anger stops me from writing, but in a way, every extreme emotion push me to write as a way to get rid of the emotion. So if I'm extremely sad, I write more than when I'm just okay, or when I'm extremely happy, I write more, or in the extreme, I tend to write more. When I'm apathetic, I don't really write. So it depends more on the level of the emotion that I feel, not a specific emotion.
Okay,
Mm,
so when you feel strong emotion, intense emotion, you tend
yes,
to write.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
if you have a strong anger.
yeah. I write like destructive things on paper, but it helps me to push them out, to get rid of them.
Ah, okay. So basically, uh, you write in order to express strong emotion or feelings, right?
Yeah, that overcome calm myself. I write them to not be drown in them, to not drown in them.
You know the idea, the verb vent?
Yes, it's a vent, a way to
You
vent.
write for venting, right?
Yes,
All right. And when you don't have a specific strong emotion or feeling, no, right? You don't write.
no, not really, no.
Okay, 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 okay. So, here, it's okay to write on venting, but here we are more speaking about, in this course, I mean, write it as a way of thinking, yeah? So it's more to use writing as a strategy to build ideas
Yep,
instead of venting emotions, okay?
yes,
So in a way, paradoxically, it's better for us not to have strong emotion when we write. Otherwise, we don't use writing to rationalize or to connect or to divide ideas, to analyze, synthesize, problematize, conceptualize. But we are doing something different, yeah, like maybe more like a poet is more that he want to express feelings, emotion, yeah. So here we use writing more as a way to express ideas than emotion, yeah. So what? Okay, now it's clear. Let's pass to the second task, and let me ask you, Gabriella, since we were speaking, and then we're gonna check with the others as well. What can you do? Which strategy can you apply or can you find in order to overcome this problem? Let's say, in order to write when you don't have strong emotion and writing not to vent but to think. Do you have something in your mind?
uh, not exactly, but I was thinking about the difference between venting and communicating, and if I would be able to make this switch from venting to using the text to communicate an idea to build on the thinking process, I think that would help, but I don't know exactly how to describe this process, how to like to switch the attention from venting to communicating, expressing my ideas, but to have some kind of sense for the other, to yeah, to communicate, to exchange ideas, not just to vent or expressing emotions.
Let's hear if the group has some advice to give to you. Luciano, uh, can you propose a strategy to Gabriella in order, let's say, to overcome this problem of venting instead of thinking in writing?
Well, uh, maybe I can start by saying the venting part makes the story more personal, so you shouldn't eliminate it completely, I think, because venting gives a personal point of view of your, well, if you want to write a story. Um, but maybe after you vent, if you think critically, oh, is this okay? I want to make the story personal, but is this clear to the reader? Is this universal in its approach? Can anybody understand my personal feeling or my personal venting? Then you start being more critical of your venting, maybe even of your own emotions. Maybe you see yourself being petty or greedy or I don't know at times, and then you actually either change your own attitude or yeah approach the story differently. I don't know. This is how I
Okay,
think of it.
let's see if Gabriella agree or took something from what you said.
Yeah, I think Lucian managed to catch exactly what I was struggling to say. The fact that if I get some distance from myself, I can transform the venting into something to check if it makes sense for the others, if it's an idea that's universal or that can have some value for the thinking process of the other, not just me expressing myself. So yeah, the idea of taking distance I took from
Okay,
Lucian, and it's nice.
so let's say that detachment can be a strategy in order to switch from venting to rational writing, let's say, or rational communication. So in a way, from detaching from yourself, you can get a different perspective, external perspective to what you wrote, and so you can see from an external point of view, and you can criticize yourself easier. You can see more than if you just stay inside yourself, inside your emotion, inside your anger, and you want just to express and to vent it, right? That's the idea. Okay, can you write detachment, Gabriella? So we found a strategy to deal with your emotional reactivity. Okay, you didn't you couldn't not to erase what you wrote before, but okay, you decide to do it. I know you like self-sabotage. It's a it's a symbolic self-sabotage. Okay, what you have done. Okay, Luisa, you can.
Actually, I wanted to say that you shouldn't erase what you've written because we are speaking about detaching from, but we don't explain how you detach from something. And what you proposed before, sublimation, is actually a good action that can help you detach from your emotions. You understand? Because saying, okay, you detach from something, but how do you do this? You need a process, a concept also for how do you do this process. And sublimation, what you wrote before, is the way to detach, for example. You know, it's when you transform something in another, from a state in another state, basically, that's sublimation.
All right, Gabriela, by the way, I was reading now what you wrote. Can you, Luisa was already doing this work. Can you provide a connection between the idea of sublimation and the idea of detachment?
I think it's implied in the idea of sublimation that you have to be a bit detached, otherwise uh, you're still under the reign of emotion if you vent. if you just vent. So there is still needs to be detachment when you're trying to sublimate the emotion. It's what I'm trying. Otherwise, even if you just express them, you're still a slave of your emotion because you're doing what the only thing that you can do to vent.
Okay. So in a way, in the sublimation, you're still expressing the same, let's say, energy behind, but you have more control because you are deciding how to do it. Or Freud says, I don't know, for example, if you have an aggressive instinct or a sexual instinct, that you can use that energy to, I don't know, to draw, yeah, or maybe to become good in a sport, yeah. So you can use that energy, you deviate that energy from the original goal, and you do something that has a cultural value. That's the idea of sublimation. So there is a freedom, more freedom than if you just respond in an automatic way to your instinct, yeah. And that freedom maybe is related to the detachment, yeah. It can be seen as a form of detachment because there is more distance between you and your pulsion, your instinct, yeah.
Yeah, now it's clear in my head too because I had this idea, I know about this idea of sublimation, but I didn't manage to see what's missing from it just being venting again. So now with the help of the others, I understand better how this could work.
Okay, good. So Luisa was right. You were losing a nice idea by erasing what you wrote that, in a way, help you to connect with the new idea that the group gave to you through Luciano. And now you have more clear ideas and suggestion and advice about what to do in order to deal with your difficulty, right? So
Yes, thanks.
again you give more importance to what comes from outside than from what comes from inside.
Yes, I would have to think more about this difficulty that I mentioned and the other one with the utility. I don't see it right now, but from maybe another session.
Now I'm speaking about what you have done. You erase what you have wrote and you replace with what we gave to you. So you gave more importance to something that came from outside instead of something that came from your inside. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, then you can use it this information and you can connect with the other problems. I agree with you. You can do the job later during the week. But I think it's an interesting phenomenon. I think express your tendency again to be heteronymous. That is okay. You decide to be less, but if you decide to be less, it means that for you is normal. You are used to be heteronymous, to give more importance to the external factors. Yeah. So I think it's just a confirmation of what you notice already. Yes. All right. Thank you. And let's go to the others to try to find a strategy. So Gabriela, try to give them the favor back to if they have if they need to be told some nice strategy to overcome their difficulties. So who want to find a strategy? Who want to deal with this second task? We're gonna work all together because we're just three people. So okay, Luisa.
What I wrote is choose just one. So choosing would be the strategy.
Okay, so choosing would be a way to deal with the difficulty of the problem of wholeness.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, and but I guess that since you are in the wholeness business, for you it's not that easy, let's say, to select, to choose, right?
Yes.
Can you say which is the main problem in choosing for you? I think there are many problems in choosing, which is the main one for you?
Something important may be left out.
Okay, how do you conceptualize it?
Mm. I'm going back in circles to wholeness.
Yeah, I was asking you, are you still in the wall now? Do you have problem to select one idea to answer my question? Stuck in the absolute, in the wholeness? Are you afraid to miss out something important by answering?
Yes.
Okay, maybe that's the problem, the fear to miss something, yeah?
Yes, FOMO, we call it.
FOMO, yeah, fear of missing out.
Yes.
Okay. Can be FOMO the problem in choosing for you?
Yes.
Okay, okay. What happens if you miss something important out from your choice?
You are alienated somehow.
Alienated. Can you explain?
You feel alienated from other options. They are not no longer one with your thinking.
Oh, you mean exclusion? You excluded the other options.
Mm-hmm.
Because alienation, it means to become others than you yourself. Yeah. Here is an exclusion, what you are speaking about more. You have a,
Yes, it's exclusion.
you're afraid to exclude the important stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, but let me tell you, maybe it's a terrible news for you, that it's impossible not to exclude something important because usually there are more important ideas. Yeah. So every time you select one, you are excluding the other ones, at least in that moment. But it doesn't mean that you exclude forever because in a second step, you can propose a second important concept. Yeah. For example, when I teach, I try to focus on the more important information, yeah, because otherwise it's too much, yeah, otherwise it's impossible to teach. It's just a great confusion. But of course, when I propose one important idea, in that moment, I have to exclude temporarily the other ones, yeah. But for
Mm-hmm.
you, it's a problem even temporarily to exclude some important ideas, right?
Yes.
That's why you want to keep everything together because you want delivery, the wholeness, the important concept all together
At once.
at once. Yes? Okay. But why don't you think that you can deliver more concept in different moments? For example, when you write, if you want to say all the important stuff in one sentence, probably you cannot write it because it's impossible task. Yeah, you have to write maybe more sentence. Yeah, and then you connect the sentence each other. So in this way you build a text, you build a writing reasoning. Yeah, otherwise you get stuck, I guess. No.
Yes.
Okay. So why don't you let's say distinguish different moments in which you can deliver a different important concepts? What stops you in doing that?
sense of emergency, maybe.
Emergency. So you are every time you write something, uh, you want to put all the important stuff together because it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Uh, Why there is, I mean, I don't understand what this emergency come from. Can you explain?
Mm. Like in some time after, if they're not there, the ideas maybe will be lost.
Ah, okay. Again, you're afraid to lose something that you cannot find it later. So you are afraid to lose forever something important. Okay, you know what I do? I understand you. I had the same problem a few years ago, and I had a strategy. Can I suggest to you what I did? I think there are more, but I uh, if I have more than one important concept and I have the fear to lose some of them, I just write at the beginning like three, four concepts for each important idea to make sure that I can preserve those important concepts. And then I start to develop those concepts. So instead of develop just one and then to go to the second, the third, you just conceptualize, you do a kind of brainstorming, yeah, where you put in the doc one idea, one name, one concept for one important idea. So in that case, you can let's say make sure that you don't lose those ideas, and then without this fear of losing something, you can focus on develop those ideas.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yes, I will try to write like this. A
Okay.
good idea.
Or maybe Luciano and Gabriella have a different strategy to propose to you in order to
Mhm.
overcome this FOMO you have. No? Gabriella?
Um, Maybe not a concrete strategy, but I was thinking that maybe you can think who decides what's important. Like I, in a way, maybe you try to capture what's important for everybody, but you should just decide what's important for you. It's not really helpful, but maybe think about it because then it's not about the whole, it's about you. What you think it's important, it's easier to then to choose.
So
Yeah,
you're
that's an idea.
suggesting the idea to focus more on what uh, re what is important for her and to give less importance to the other perspective.
Yeah, because she wants to capture everything that's important, I think, not just for herself in that moment. I don't know,
Okay. So
maybe she can make more sense of it.
by missing something important, in a way, she's indirectly excluding other people that could find other stuff important. So it's not just an exclusion of ideas, it's also an exclusion of people that can recognize themselves in those ideas. That's the
Y-
idea?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Yes.
Oh, interesting. I didn't think about it. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Luisa, can work? I mean, there is this fear of excluding also people behind ideas.
Yes. I when I write, I try to address. I mean, I try to think of who will read it, of course, and because otherwise I'm writing for myself my own diary, and that's enough, my own journal. But when I write for others, I think about them, of course, all of them, and their
Okay. You know what? I suggest you to use different steps. In the first step, you focus on yourself, in what is important for you. In the second step, you focus on other people perspective in order to criticize and to develop and to improve what you have wrote. But again, if you want to do everything at the same at once, the wholeness together, of course you can you find stuck, you get stuck at one point. Yeah.
yes.
So I think the nice strategy here is to dividing in different steps. And in a way, by dividing, you make sure that you don't lose neither yourself or other people. Yeah, neither your main idea or other important ideas. So dividing in so analyzing, in a way, analyzing, it means dividing. Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, I think that what we said before with Luciano can work with you. In order to divide in different steps, you need to be more patient. Yeah. Because if you are in a hurry, if you are in an emergency, you want to do straight away, it doesn't work. You have to be patient, and you have to divide the entire process in different uh, let's say levels. You focus in the first one and then the second one. Yeah, it may takes more time, but at least you don't get stuck in this way.
And maybe it's also this idea of structure that which is linked to this.
Okay, explain.
Because in order to divide, basically what you do, you create a structure. When you divide,
Yes.
you also create the structure of a text.
So you miss the structure if you don't divide, right?
Yes.
So when you write, usually you don't have a structure.
Most of the time I have ideas, but not a full structure.
Okay. So you are more focused and worry with to save all the ideas, but you cannot organize them in a structure because you don't divide.
Yes.
Okay, nice. I make a note. Dividing, I think, is important here as a concept. Dividing and structuring. Dividing in order to structuring. Can you make a note for yourself?
Yes, I'm writing on my notebook, but I will make it here. Yes.
Right. Nice, nice. Good. So now, before to do the little exercise, I wanted to propose to you today, Luciano. Do you have a strategy for your main difficulty in writing, which apparently is impatience?
Yes, my first answer was I think a bit superficial because it addressed lack of deadlines, but I don't think deadlines is the problem. I take on too many deadlines. I take on too many difficulties, and I do. I take on too many activities, and I maybe do not so good of a job at all of them.
So what could help you to overcome this problem, you think? Which strategy would you use?
To be fair, having 1 or 2 hours a week where I just sit in silence, maybe.
Okay, to create a moment, a space for yourself in a peaceful moment where to focus on writing.
Maybe not even writing because I have to meet a deadline there as well. I need to kind of really stop thinking that I need to do something all the time when I'm awake. Um,
Oh, okay. So you need to move all the time.
yes.
Okay. So it must be exhausting, right? No? I mean,
Yes, I can only sleep when I'm exhausted, when there's no more left. There's no
okay.
more energy left.
But what happens if you stop for half an hour during the day? What's wrong?
I mean, nothing's wrong. I do it once in a while, but it doesn't come natural to me.
Yeah, but you agree if it doesn't come natural, it means that at least in your system, I mean, you perceive as something dangerous there. No?
Yes, like I'm scared that like life will pass by and I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
miss the stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, it's still a problem of greedy. Because greedy can take the form of the fear of losing something, some opportunity and stuff. Yeah, so you have to do as much as possible, otherwise you waste your time, waste your life, waste your existence. Yes or no? Yeah.
yeah, yes.
Okay. But have you ever thought that mm, never take by if you don't never or just a few times take sometimes to breathe, to enjoy writing, to do something not useful also, maybe that's a real wasting of your existence. So, in a way, the fear of wasting your existence is making you wasting your existence by doing so much, never stop. So, you're exhausted every day and you don't enjoy your existence actually at the end. You see the paradox?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so uh, what can you do? Let's open to the group as well. What Luciano could do in order to take a rest, to do less in a way, and to create more space and time to dedicate to something uh, different that he's doing, to enjoy more the emptiness of the life. Do you have something to give to him, Gabriella and Luisa? Luisa?
I suspect also that this need to always do something comes, as you said, also from this fear of, yeah, but also from an ambition.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's ambitious in doing all these many things. So I guess if you're ambitious, you want to be recognized, validated in your accomplishments. And could you just stop thinking about what the others, how the others would validate all the things you do, and think what would you do if there was nobody else around you and you would just do things for yourself?
Okay. Makes sense, Luciano?
Yes, it does.
Okay, you know what? I don't think recognition is a problem itself. The problem is when you want so much recognition from others, which implies, by the way, that you don't recognize yourself by yourself. Yes? So, why don't you recognize yourself?
Um, I hmm. Because I don't know. I have this strong feeling that I hmm, I have this strong feeling that I don't necessarily deserve or yeah, I don't. I need to prove myself. I don't. Maybe I have some value in me, or maybe I have some potential, but I shouldn't take it for granted, and I should always show, not tell, or how do I say, not think about it too hard. Just do stuff.
Okay. You know what? It seems to me that you have a kind of sinner syndrome. You don't you think you are a sinner, so you have to in a way do stuff to repair for your original sin, yeah? So you use activities in order to wash this dirty soul that you think you have. Okay. Did you have a Christian education, by the way, Luciano?
It doesn't matter at this point. I didn't have really. I mean, my mother tried at some point. She's a very moral. She has this sinner syndrome as well. She has tried taking me to the church, but she has such a busy schedule that she didn't end up going every Sunday to church either.
Oh,
You
so
know.
she has the same busy syndrome that you have. Yeah. She has to do a lot of stuff.
Yes. Also, if I will go with the clinical explanation with ADHD, I suspect her as well of having it. I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but it's a definition. You know, the clinical one.
So basically, you're doing like your mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, what do you think about the self-recognition as a way to deal with your impatience? You like the idea?
Yes. Yes. I like this exercise. I think also when I encountered the Stoics, I valued this idea of no matter what others' idea of you is, you need to be grounded in yourself to know what's real. Even if they think you are nothing, you need to have a strong position. And even if they think you are a king, you need to be grounded and whatever, to not be swayed by what others think of you. Um, so I do this exercise, but I would say I still have this programming by my parents and my education to always try to prove myself, always be active, always perform.
Yeah, but you know what is necessary in order to self recognize yourself? What is an important, let's say, a necessary condition of self recognition?
What comes to mind is to appreciate the small things, or how to,
Okay, but
to yeah.
even to appreciate more what you do, I think is necessary self-forgiveness. Since you have a sinner syndrome, if you don't forgive yourself, how can you recognize the value of yourself? Yeah. So self-forgiveness. So I know it sounds strange, a bit religious, but maybe a way to deal with the impatience that you have, the problem of writing, could be to reconcile a bit with yourself, forgive yourself. I don't know what you have done so terrible. I know we are all sinners, but you are the first one that should forgive himself instead of waiting for other people forgiveness or God forgiveness. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand perfectly. I used to struggle a lot, or I used to consume drugs compulsively. Let's say before I started the self-forgiving and stuff. The
You're
problem used to
punishing
be
yourself, basically.
I don't know if punishment, but detaching or artificially detaching. You know, after the day of work is finished, instead of thinking of all the sins that I made throughout my life, I would just nod off or drift into yeah, is to escape. But Yes, since I started self-forgiving, I don't do it compulsively anymore, but I still have this problem.
Do you think it's possible for you forgive yourself?
Yes, yes, I haven't done that horrible but thing so far. So, uh,
Yes, I know you. I think you are a good guy, but maybe the problem is not what you have done in the reality, is the perception about yourself the problem. Sometimes
yeah,
we feel worse than we are, you know?
yes, and this goes back. My mother always keeps saying I'm the worst mother and everything when she is the most hardworking mother I know. But yes, it's very, yeah, it's as you say, it's more about the perception, not about.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. I think okay. I think it's a nice idea. Maybe you could take a note, like self-forgiveness, in order to be able to self-recognize yourself. Okay, nice. You wanna add something, or you're good? No?
No, I think it's a nice idea. I'll write it down.
Okay, good, good. All right. So now I think we have half an hour to conclude the session by doing the last task. I know you started already to do some. It was crazy to do everything together. I know you are in the wholeness business, but it was too much, yes? And so now I would like you to take, let's say, at least, I don't know, few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, yes, let's say maximum 10 minutes, to write a little text. And the topic I want to propose to you is thinking and freedom. Thinking and freedom. Yeah. So this is the topic. You can deal with the topic as you wish. There is no, let's say, boundaries in a way, but try to be rational in what you do. Yeah. Instead of venting your emotion, try to create a link between these two ideas, or to distinguish these ideas. Yeah. Or define this idea. You can do whatever you want. Be creative. Yeah. And for now, you can write just a paragraph. Let's say less than half a page. Yeah. One third of the page is enough. Yeah. So let me know if the task is clear. Writing a brief paragraph about thinking and freedom. Yes. So I give you 10 minutes. And of course, the idea here now is try to apply the strategies that we found during the session, that are related to the difficulty, the main difficulty you have in writing. Yeah. So let's try, and then let's see if you succeed, if you still have that problem, if you struggle with different problem. So in the last part, we're gonna start analyzing a bit the what you have done, how you have done, and then we're gonna do a little brief meta discussion at the end. So I give you 10 minutes. You see, Luciano, now you can enjoy the writing during the session. Okay, you still have 4 minutes to write. Okay, I gave it to you 11 minutes, 1 minute more. So don't worry if you didn't finish. Maybe if you have an important idea you are afraid to miss, you can just type the concept as the strategy I gave to Luisa before, and then we can go back to discuss together. Luisa, you there? No? All right. So now Let's wait, Luciano. I know he's impatient to finish what he started. So now, instead of entering in reading, analyzing your text, your little text, did you notice something? Did you notice the same difficulty you mentioned before? Maybe you applied, or maybe the discussion we had before helped you to overcome that difficulty, or maybe you spot a new difficulty in during this 11 minutes you've been writing. By the way, I'm seeing that Luciano is who wrote the most. You were inspired, Luciano.
Yes, I added to my original idea with the conversation that we had.
Okay, so how was the writing in these minutes? Did you
Well, I built upon my original ideas of structure and everything. You asked more about the process and not the content.
Yes, if you notice something that with what you were struggling, or maybe it was easier than the previous time you wrote something, or was the same, maybe, I don't know.
No, I liked it. I felt like I got into a flow.
Okay. But did you experience as well the impatience that you were speaking about before? Or this time, no, it wasn't that there in the process.
No, I didn't feel like it was sabotaging impatience or I felt eager to write, but it felt like fuck. I hate using this word, the productive impatience. I don't know, like
Efficient, yeah.
yeah, still an ugly word, but yeah.
What's wrong with efficiency?
I hear it too much at school or in the way I'm thinking. I try to detach.
Okay.
My my artist friends get angry at me when I start speaking in terms like this, and
Plus, efficiency is a way to save energy and time, which is important for people who are greedy and they want to do everything. Okay. Okay, but you know what? As long as the desire of the eager to write doesn't create you problem and you write, I don't have anything against it, yeah? So be eager as you want, how much you wish, as long as is good for writing, yeah? If the desire becomes too strong and you stop, there you have to deal with that problem. Otherwise, we are humans, it's okay to have desires, yeah? All right. And Gabriella, how was it?
Um, it was hard because I tried to follow the strategy that we discussed and to detach from emotions. So it was really out of my comfort zone to write from this space rather than to just follow what I feel to write. Um, I think I still miss the middle path between involving emotion in the writing as a impulse, as a fuel, and writing in a reasonable manner. I think I'm going from an extreme to another. I can't find the middle
Uh,
path yet.
you know, sometimes I have the same problem. that I feel that I'm emotional in that moment, and I would like to write. Yeah. So you know what I do? I write a poem or I vent my emotions like for I don't know, I dedicate 20 minutes for my emotion. So I write to express my emotion and then I feel better and then I start to write in more in a rational way. So maybe that could be a way to be a bit in the middle. So you take care of your emotion at first since you need it, yeah. But then maybe when you dedicate a bit of time, you wrote a poem and you vent them, maybe you have more chance to dedicate to your ideas, to your thoughts. What do you think about this strategy? For me, it worked more than once.
Yeah, I think it works. Uh, but here I don't know if I express my problem. I felt like without emotion, what I was trying to do in the exercise, I had no drive to write. That was my problem. That's why it was difficult here. Because I tried to detach completely and I was like, I don't feel to write anymore." So it's a
Yeah.
bit tricky. That's what was my problem here in the exercise, not the overwhelming emotions, but rather the opposite. I was trying to detach completely and I was like, now what? What am I gonna write about?
Okay, let me be a bit critical. You have a hard time to die.
Yes, it's true.
Okay, that's why Plato said, wrote that in order to philosophize, we have to learn how to die. Yeah, but for you, it's difficult to let your emotion go and to keep distance from them because in that moment, in a way, the separation between emotion and ideas is a bit the separation between the body and the mind, which for ancient Greek was the idea of death. You die when your soul, your mind, we abandon your body. Yeah. So when you separate emotion, body, and ideas, mind, in a way you are experience a little death in your during the life. But apparently you have a problem with this little death in life. Yeah.
Yes, it's true. I'm gonna think about this idea. It's a good idea.
Okay, I know. Okay, it sounds a bit strange, but in a way, if you want to enjoy the thinking, you have to, yeah, you have to create this separation inside yourself, which can, yeah, be a little experience of death. So in a way, to reconcile with death could be worthy for you in order to enjoy more the thinking. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it sounds a bit strange. You have to learn how to die, basically, to write. Okay, Luisa, did you observe something in your exercise of writing?
Yes, I tried to divide the ideas in very small sentences, but then I found it difficult to connect between them. The connection was difficult to make. I was struggling to find a logical connection between them to so that they could have coherence.
Okay, so you dealt with your difficulty of dividing, separating, but you found a new difficulty that which is related to connect, right?
Connect because I like to connect a lot. The ideas. I mean, they have to be connected.
Yeah, but you know what? Plato says that every ideas can be divided from any other ideas, and every ideas can be connected to any other ideas.
Okay.
So it's possible to do both, to dividing and connecting every time. Yes? So
Mhm.
why do you think, since you like to connect ideas, for you today was difficult to do it? Why is difficult to connect different ideas?
give them a logical structure.
Okay, to find an order.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But because you think you can create a wrong order or a wrong structure, or because there is a right order that you cannot reach, or what? Maybe it's different explanations.
To be understood, coherent, not right or wrong, but just coherent in their chronology, let's say, in their.
Okay, okay. So for you, it's hard to be coherent.
To me, I'm coherent, but I have to be coherent for others.
Okay, but you see that maybe Gabriela was right before. You are
Yeah,
focused on others than
yes.
yourself. So you didn't use the strategy. I mean, you use just partially the strategy, because then you put together the moment where you focus on your coherency, let's say, and then the moment where you take a step back from yourself, you look to yourself, to what you wrote from outside, and then you see if there are a coherency problem. But again, it's allness. You make them together. Yeah. So I invite you to keep dividing the process of in writing. So after you divide the concept, try to make a link, and don't worry about the other perspective at the beginning. Just focus on one perspective, your perspective. So in that way, it should be easier to find the connections, and then you can criticize what you have done from other perspective. So you get in the external point of view. But if you try to do inside and outside at the same time, well, it's very difficult, especially if you're not used to. Maybe after a long while of training, maybe you could make it. But now it's too soon. Yeah?
Yeah.
Makes sense? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I think we did a lot today. Do you have a final comment or, I don't know, question or meta observation about the process we have been doing to get today before to leave? Something you like it, something you, I don't know, you didn't like, or something is still a problem, or something you would like to address, let's say, during the rest of the course. Luisa?
Yes, I liked that we had exchanged strategies. I mean, even if, I don't know, Luciano's strategy in the beginning doesn't seem valid for my issue, I'm still thinking maybe I could still use it at some point.
What was it? I forgot.
For him, the strategy was self-forgiving. Yeah.
The strategy I proposed to Luciano, you did apply to yourself as well.
Yeah, I think it's useful to just apply them and see what happens, even if it doesn't seem to be our problem.
Yeah. So maybe you too have a little of the sinner syndrome.
Actually, I find myself a lot in also in Gabriela's need to write from impulsion.
Okay. So you see yourself in everything, in allness.
Yes. I see a little bit of piece of me in everyone.
Yeah. In a way, I think it's true. Yeah. But at the same time, this idea should not stop you from distinguish yourself from the others. So in a way, like I said before, you can put together any ideas or you can distinguish an idea. So you can see yourself in everything, but at the same time, you should be able to distinguish yourself from everything. Yeah. Maybe the first part is easier for you, the second part less easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier for me to recognize myself in everything. It's easy to find something that I have. Yes.
Okay.
So I tend more for unification than division, I think.
Yeah. You're more a fusional person.
Yeah.
Okay. But okay, so it must
And
be.
fusion creates wholeness, of course.
But don't you feel you tend to lose yourself in this wholeness, fusional wholeness? Or maybe that's your aim, to lose yourself.
Yes, maybe.
Okay. All right. Something else, Gabriella?
Um, for me, it was I I had this confirmation that it's not enough just to name the problem, but you still have to exercise and work on it. Of course, we had these strategies that we all agree that they are good for our problems, but in the end, it's not so easy to apply them in practice. You need to exercise them. Like received good strategy, but it's not so easy as to just, okay, now I have the strategy, everything is resolved.
Yeah, it's like in swimming, the teacher can explain to you, maybe you understand mentally and intellectually, but then when you try to do it, at the beginning you cannot. So you have to exercise, to repeat a lot. So repetition has an important role in learning and writing as well. Yeah. So I know it can be a bit boring, but if you don't repeat, it's difficult to become good in anything. Yeah. When I played guitar, I had to repeat every day for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, the same stuff in order to improve it. And once you repeat it so much, then you learn it. In a way, you do it without thinking. Yes, it becomes naturally and automatically. Yeah, so you can focus on more difficult stuff. That's the idea of learning. Yeah, repetition is important. So, and exercise, yes, indeed, is important. And by the way, before to go to Luciano, the idea, I would like to give to you a little homework, but don't worry, Luciano, you can, now that you found space of writing, I'm sure you're gonna find space in your week to do it. It's just the idea is to develop a bit the text you started during the session. Yeah. So try to extend it in any way, yeah, to find, maybe to spot a problem to deal with, or to create a new distinction, or to find an analogy, how you prefer, yeah. Not more than 1 page, let's say, yeah. That's the idea, so you can keep exercising, and then next week with Matthias, you're gonna check it, and you're gonna work on new strategy to develop more, even more, your text. All right, but let's conclude with Luciano. A final meta comment, anything?
Yeah, I really benefited from the fact that you didn't let me get away with formal response. I actually got better concept to define my struggle, something less superficial, and yeah, this ultimately benefited my text, because then it felt more honest, or less moralizing. I fought with my own impatience, but I couldn't name it, and I said, oh, I need to be stricter. I need to have more deadlines and so on. But then I realized, oh, that's not. This is not the problem. I mean, maybe there are some aspects. Maybe I can get more organized or more structured, but the root of the cause was that I'm impatient, and then Yeah, I got a better image.
Yeah. Okay. And think that at one point you can do it by yourself, you know. So every time you see a problem or something that doesn't let you to do what you want, you can stop. You have to stop, and you can start thinking, and you can problematize and find a different explanation and perspective. So, in a way, what we are doing together, at one point, I hope it will become also an autonomous way for yourself to deal with your own problems. Yes. I like to do it together, but at the same time, I think it's important to be able to do by yourself. Otherwise, you will need all the time someone else to help you. Yeah. So of course, the course is meant to help you, but I think the final goal is to help you to become able to help yourself in a way. Yes. Okay. Thank you, everybody. It's been funny for me. And I see you in, I guess, in 2 weeks. Yes. And next time you will work with Matthias, as you know already. And so you will bring the text. I mean, the text is already in the doc. And the homework, like I said before, is just to develop a bit that text. And of course, if you notice something about your functioning, or maybe you feel some fears or desires, something that can be interesting, try to conceptualize, and then you can speak about that with Matthias. All right? All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Thanks.
Have a good day also.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.